One of my favorite recipes is for a Mexican street corn salad. I make it all the time. It's simple, it's fresh, it's awesome. Let's get into it. So here's your corn. You're going to want to get the fresh stuff at the store. And then what you're going to do is you're going to shuck it. So just peel off all the outside stuff, break off the bottoms, get the little stringy hairs off of there and everything, and get it so you've just got 4 nice ears of corn all ready to go. Now you're going to actually cut the kernels off of it. If you haven't done this before, it's not hard at all. Just get a nice big plate and a good knife, stand it up on end, and start cutting on the outside. You'll kind of feel where the kernels hit the inner side of it that you can't really cut through and that you don't really want to eat. And you're just going to do this to all 4 of the ears of corn until you have a nice pile of golden corn, just like that. Next, the lime. I love doing this. You squeeze it, push it hard with your hand. It kind of breaks up the inside of it so that when you go to juice it, it's easier. I like to use one of these little juicing things just so I can set the lime juice aside, because I like to get the ingredients done ahead of time, but you can also just squeeze it with your hand right into the thing. Mayonnaise, hey, pretty easy. 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Just get that in a cup so that it's ready to go once the corn's ready. And now you're going to take your green onion. You don't need a ton of it. You can see about how much you want here, but you do want to finely slice it. That isn't enough. You need to go further. Chop, 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 chop until it looks like this. That way it can kind of coat the corn and get into each of it. And now it's time, of course, for the cilantro. And you're going to do the same thing with the cilantro. You're going to cut off a bit of it, and then you're going to chop it up. It gets fine. You do not want to have big leafy chunks of it. You want to get it down really nice and fine. Now for the jalapeno. This part's pretty important because jalapeno, the flesh of it's not actually that spicy, but the inside, the seeds and stuff are. So, if you don't want to kill yourself here, you're going to want to take this out. This is fresh jalapeno that you're putting in with it. So just carefully use your knife to dislodge that center part, and it just pulls right out of there, and you can just throw that away until you've got the outside of it. A couple seeds left, no big deal. Do that to both sides, and then once again, you're going to be finely chopping this jalapeno. You don't want to leave it in big chunks like this. It is pretty hot like that, and plus you want it to spread out. With corn, there's a bunch of small pieces and you need it all to kind of intermix so that you get the best flavor. So chop, 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 and keep chopping. Just keep on going until you get it down nice and small like that. You can put it all in one thing, it doesn't matter. Here's the cojita cheese. Now it comes in this sort of disc like this, and you're going to break off a chunk, but as you can see, it's kind of crumbly. I get it up to 2 ounces, and what I use is just the back of a fork and just keep working it until it looks like that. Once it's ready, you can set that aside. Now, everybody knows this, right? Just slam on the back of these garlic, and you can peel out the center of it. And then you're just going to chop that up. You can also put it in a grater. You can put it in one of these garlic presses, though mine doesn't seem to be working super well. But anyway, close enough. And, you can use between 1 and 3 of these, depending on how much you like garlic. All right, now it's time to get cooking. So take the 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and put them in a pan. And what you'll do is you're going to heat the pan up. You're just going to get the bottom coated up here. And then you're going to put the stove on high. You're going to want this hot, 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 hot. And what you can see is right now nothing. And once it starts shimmering, you can see it just on the surface of the oil. That means it's ready to go. So go ahead and put the corn in, and you're going to cook it for about 2 minutes on this side. You're just going to let it cook. I usually give it a quick toss here just to get the oil kind of dispersed on it. And then I'm just going to let it sit for a couple of minutes. And that's going to get one side charred. I like to use one of these covers on the top just because the kernels will actually pop and they'll go flying all over the place. At this point, I like to season it with a little bit of salt, just to make sure that the flavor stays good. Give it another toss so that the other side of the kernels can get to that heat. Cover it up and let it cook. Now, what I like to do is cook it about 2 minutes on each side, and then about 6 minutes after that, until you can start to see it brown up. It's cool if it gets brown. It wants to get like that. Once it's done, again, about 10 minutes total, you're going to transfer the corn into a medium-sized bowl here. And then all you have to do, I know it sounds easy, it is, all you have to do is just add all the ingredients. So I usually start off with the mayonnaise, and I'll mix that in. And what I like to do is just use a fork to mix all this in because, well, that way I don't have to get one when I'm going to eat it, and which is always right away. So anyways, just mix it in. You want to get everything mixed in fully. Here goes the green, so you can see the green onions and the cilantro as well as the jalapeno in there. You just mix those in, and here comes the cojita cheese. That gives it kind of a nice coherence. It's not a ton of cheese. Like, this isn't a particularly cheesy dish, but it does hold together nicely. A little bit of garlic goes a long way. Make sure that you really mix that in. You don't want to get one bite that's all garlic. That's no good. And then, of course, you don't want to forget the lime juice. The lime juice gives it this bright, awesome flavor and really mixes it in. And that's it. All you have to do is just mix it together by hand, and you can eat it hot. You can put it in the fridge and eat it cold. And isn't that beautiful? This stuff is fantastic. I make it multiple times per week, and I'm sure you're going to love it.